I do want to move on to foreign policy. You're giving a major foreign policy speech this week, emphasizing U.S. relationships with Russia. I was just over in that region with U.S. pilots where the tension really is escalating. Hillary Clinton was in charge of the so-called reset with Russia. Can you make an argument that the reset worked, given what's happened in Crimea, given what's happened in Syria?
Look, I don't think you can make an argument that the relationship with Russia is in a good place right now. But that's not the U.S.'s fault. That's Vladimir Putin's aggressive and imperialist ambitions. Here is a guy who violated international law at the end of the Bush administration by moving into the Ossetia region of Georgia. And then he's violated international law by annexing the Crimean portion of the Ukraine and destabilizing the eastern Ukraine. Donald Trump was not even aware that Putin had gone into Crimea as recently as 2 weeks ago. He promised that Putin would not, and had to be reminded that Putin went in and took over Crimea 2 years ago. And this is just one of a number of very, very troubling instances where Trump's coziness with Putin, his coziness with Russia. Look, he's already had the Let Go One campaign chairperson.
Let's go back to the reset. I want to go back to the reset, Senator Kaine.
To pro-Russian elements in Ukraine and Russia.
I want to talk about Secretary Clinton again. Poland's former Minister of Foreign Affairs told Time magazine the Russians interpreted the reset as a kind of American weakness. It suggested that NATO is not as strong of an alliance as it was, and that gave Russia an opportunity to act. They're talking about Secretary Clinton there.
Look, I don't believe in a blame America first strategy. Russia went into Georgia, the South Ossetia region of Georgia, when President Bush was in office, before President Obama was elected. And he went into Crimea during the Obama administration. But to try to say that's the U.S.'s fault is ridiculous. The guy is a dictator who represses journalists. And there's another tie. Donald Trump is banning journalists from outlets he doesn't like from covering him on a campaign. He's taken some lessons from Putin and others. But to say that Putin's imperial ambitions are the fault of anybody in the United States is ridiculous.
Okay, let's talk about relationships.